Hi, welcome back to my vlog. I'm Robin, or A Hobbit's Reading List. This week we have some exciting things happening. Tonight I'm going to a gymnastics meet at Michigan, so I have my Michigan shirt. And I'm also getting my hair redone this weekend. And we have book club, which means that I'm reading a book that I don't really want to. So let's go ahead and get in. Okay, let me clarify. I'm in like 3 different book clubs. I have the book club that I run. Obviously, I want to read those books. And then I'm in kind of a book club with my dad where we're reading PG Wodehouse for the podcast that we run. But then my 3rd book club is the family book club. And this is with my dad, but also some of my aunts, my cousins. And a lot of the books I'm not a huge fan of, including the one we're currently reading. So we're currently reading Suburban by Fabian Nicieza, and it's supposed to be a thriller. It's not. There's no tension in the book. There's no tension. Everything is told. There's not a lot of showing. The characters are one-dimensional. One of them is a genius and a complete Mary Sue. The other ones are just assholes. There's nothing enjoyable about the book. Even the murder that they're trying to solve is it has real life implications, but it's being handled in such a way that it's it just feels gross. The entire book just feels gross. And my dad said that it's just going to get worse by the end because he's already finished it. So that's what I'm reading this week. Great. I am going to be reading, or I guess listening to, more of Babel on my way to the meet because I live about 3 hours away. So I'm going to leave here soon and listen to Babel there and back. So I should listen to about 4 or 5 hours, I think, which I think is pretty good. I'm really enjoying Babel so far. I've only listened to 2 chapters, and everything that I don't like in Suburban is just 100 times better in Babel. Obviously, they're different genres. So Suburban is a thriller. I'm trying to solve a murder. Babel is dark academia fantasy, where the words have power, obviously, and it's all about there's a lot about colonialism in there as well, and it's just so much better. It's just such a relief to go into Babel and knowing that I'll be able to listen to it a vast majority of today after reading 40 pages of Suburban it's just so relieving. But yeah, so that's sort of the plan for today. I'll show you some gymnastics when I'm at the meet, but yeah, so hopefully the rest of the day looks up, because it started rough with reading that book. So I didn't get to go to the meet. I got about halfway there and my transmission just started making some really weird sounds. A warning came up on my little screen thing. So I had to take my car to a shop, and they looked at it, but they couldn't do anything because they weren't equipped. And I had to get to a dealership, and they said that it could be a couple days, and then I had to go to a rental place. So by the time I got everything straightened out, I was still an hour and a half away from the university, so I wasn't going to make it. So I just came back home. By now the meet is over. I went ahead and set it to record. Luckily this meet was being televised, but I pretty much this was the last regular season meet. All the other meets are postseason and too far away from me, so I don't get to go to a meet this year, and that really sucks because I really enjoy gymnastics. I enjoy watching it live. I enjoy watching it in person, and I'm like, quite honestly, like, I'm really upset. So, it's whatever. And I shelled out like almost $1,000 today between the rental car and the tow. So it's been a really bad day. So I ordered pizza. I'm gonna watch the recording of the meet. I don't know how it ended up because I was driving the entire day. I did listen to about 3 more hours of Babel, and I will talk about that later when I'm not so fired up. So, okay, so let's talk about it. It's the next morning. So obviously last night I was really disappointed about not being able to go to the gymnastics meet because it was the last one of the regular season, and there's not going to be another one near me until next year. The fact that they were going against my favorite team is also very disappointing. I did watch the meet when I got home because I had started recording it when I figured out that I wasn't going to be able to go to it in person. So that was nice, I guess. But after the meet, I ended up just finishing Suburban Dicks because I figured I was already in a bad mood, so I might as well just read the book, get it out of the way, so that it wouldn't make me angry on a different day. And it turns out that was a good decision. But before I get into that, so I listened to about 3 more hours of Babel in my whole car debacle, and I'm still really enjoying it. I still think that it's really well written. The pacing is set up nicely. I'm very intrigued. Robin has gotten to Oxford. He's met his housemates, and he's also met the rest of his cohort in the translation department. And so he was sort of settling in. And then he meets someone from this like hidden society that points out that like Babel, while it is amazing, it also just perpetuates this institutional racism and colonialism from Britain. And so Robin is now very conflicted. And he's starting to he made a good point, which like he brought up like, I haven't even experienced Oxford yet. Like, this is his like first official day. He hasn't even had like classes technically. He's only just like received a tour, and it's already been tainted for him. And so, and I felt really bad for that. I felt really bad, even though like everything that he was told was accurate, you know, even in terms of like just the colonialism part, like it was accurate. But I really felt for him that, like, yeah, you didn't even get to really enjoy Oxford as he should have before he got it all sort of like ruined for him. But I'm looking forward to listening to more today on my way to work and my way back. So that'll be like another 2 chapters probably, because the chapters are fairly long, and on audiobook it takes longer to listen to them than it would take me to read them. But I don't like speeding up audiobooks because I feel like I'm not as immersed. And so yeah, I'll probably only get 2 chapters because each chapter is nearly an hour. So that was that. I finished Suburban Dicks, like I said. Yeah, I hated it. So all the issues that I brought up before are still the same. There's a lot of fat phobia, there's a lot of racism, there's my dad pointed out that there's no tension, which like is accurate. I couldn't put my finger on it, but that's exactly what it is. There's no tension. For being a thriller, there's nothing. Like, there's a lot of telling, not showing. And at the end with the reveal, which it makes no sense, first off. And it relies on my like most hated trope that I only ever see in thrillers, and I can't tell you what it is because it's a spoiler. To wrap this up, I gave it 1.5 stars, which is officially my lowest rating of the year because I thought it was that poorly done. And to be clear, like, I don't like thrillers. I should not be reviewing thrillers, but my family keeps making me read them. And I yeah. Yeah. So I'm just glad it's done. It's out of the way. I don't have to read it anymore. All the other books on my TBR, I'm looking forward to for the most part. I don't know what I'm going to read next. I haven't asked Siri to make that decision for me. But I still have like 8 books. So, well, 7 because I'm listening to Babel. So, yeah, we'll see, but that's my little update. I feel better-ish than I did last night, but it's also dealing with the car thing is bringing up a lot of just drama, just doing things that I don't want to do, that I don't want to deal with, and it's also just like bringing up a lot of anxiety for me. So I think I'm going to rely a lot on reading this week, because even reading a book that I hated last night was better than, just sitting there stewing in my anxiety and sadness. So, all right, that's it. I'll check in with you guys later. So I haven't updated in a couple days. There's been continued car stuff, and that's just taken a lot of energy out of me. And so I read a little bit of Micah Riken. I've read 3 chapters, and I'm gonna have to learn a lot about cricket reading this book, because a lot of it doesn't make sense to me because most of the storyline is about cricket. So, Micah Riken is a book by PG Wodehouse about this guy named Mike. And apparently all the men in his family play cricket. Like, that is their one purpose. And he's going to this school now. It's a new school. He hasn't been there before, but his brothers all went there, called Riken. And so where I am in the book, he just got there and he's being like shown around. And so I'm predicting that in the next couple chapters is when all the cricket is going to start, and I'm going to get very confused. So I can tell you right now, probably not a 5-star. But yeah, so that'll be interesting. And I have continued listening to Babel by RF Kuang. I'm about, I think, like 40-ish% through. I am really enjoying it. I think that all the parts about like colonialism are really interesting, and I'm glad that I'm getting like a lot of that, while also just getting to experience Robin going through Oxford and through his program, and just learning more. Like, I'm really enjoying the balance between like the character study and what he's learning and the plot. I'm a little confused though about so there's this group that's working counter to Babel and like the British Empire, and they're pretty much stealing resources from Babel to share with other countries to help with like rebellions and stuff like that against the Empire. And Robin just like first meeting with someone from this other group, and he's just like, okay, sure, yeah, I'll help you steal. And but that's it. And like, that was before he even started classes and anything at Oxford. And like, obviously it's been a while since this all happened, and now he's in his like 3rd year at Oxford, and some things have happened. But I'm just like, I'm so confused about why he agreed to it in the first place. So I don't know. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I just wish it had been. I wish his thought process had been a little more explained. But that so far is like my only real issue. Like, I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, I think the writing is really great. I love their footnotes, just to give like additional information, especially because like it's so big on linguistics. And so I just appreciate all that. So like I said, I'm really enjoying it. Hopefully I'll finish it before I go to New York, quite honestly. But I need to start like really picking up the pace because, I've finished, what, 2 books from my March TBR, and we're almost halfway through the month. Like, that's not great. And I know that a lot of the books are short, but still. So hopefully I can finish Mike at Riken this weekend and then like really like speed it up next week. But that's just a little update. I may film more tonight. I haven't gotten any B-roll, but I will definitely get some tomorrow when I go to get my hair done, because it's getting to that point. I need some fresh up. So I will talk to you guys later. Good morning. I realized that I needed to like film a clip. I haven't really read much. I listened to another like little bit over an hour of Babel. Robin is in his 4th year at Oxford. Is that right? Yes. It makes me sad because we're getting to the point where like we're halfway through the book, so a lot is gonna happen this last year at Oxford, because I know the storyline is like literally just Robin's time at Oxford. But it was making me a little sad because the friendship that he has with the other 3 students in his year is really becoming fractured. Like, there were times where it was starting to fracture, but then they'd be like, it's fine, and they'd make up. But like now it's really becoming more divided. But also like Robin is starting to learn more about Babel and about how they impact the empire. I don't think he had a full understanding. So I think he's starting to get that. But also, I think he's also starting to make up his own opinions, because up until now, he had pretty much had a lot of like Professor Lovell's opinions, who is his guardian, and then he had like his friend's opinions, and then he had Griffin's opinions. And I feel like now he's starting to like just like look around and be like, wait a minute, I have opinions. So that'll be good to listen to. I might listen to a little bit more today, even though it's my day off, and I typically only listen to audiobooks on my way to work. But after my hair appointment, I know I have to like clean a bunch, so I might just like pop on the audiobook while I do that. And I also wanted to film a clip because this is the last time you'll see me with blue hair, at least for probably 6 months. I might go back, or I might do a different color. We don't know. So next time you see me will be, well, in the process of getting rid of the blue. And then after that, you'll see me with a different color. I don't know if I told you what color I'm doing, so surprise. Ta-da! Yeah, so that's green. I'm worried that the lighter green is gonna fade really quickly, so I'm gonna try to take care of that. I might not like wash my hair for as long as I can, because I don't want the color to wash out. Yeah, so that took about 2.5 hours. So I got some reading done while I was there. I'm about not quite halfway through Mike at Riken. He So PG Wodehouse, he very rarely has like one main character. So even though Mike at Riken is obviously about Mike, a lot of the chapters that I've read so far today have been about a friend of his named Wyatt, who is the I believe stepson of one of the, I don't remember what he's called, like housemaster, I guess would be the best word. You know, an adult who lives in one of the boarding houses, the one that Mike happens to be staying at. Wyatt is his roommate. And so the past like couple chapters have been all about Wyatt and the adventures that he's getting up to, because he apparently sneaks out of the house and he like shoots an air rifle at cats, which is really sad and upsetting. Definitely something I'm gonna bring up in the podcast recording, because that's not cool. Even if it's just air, but still. And he just now like led sort of like a revolution and like convinced almost everyone to like walk out of school, because the school was being punished for an incident that Wyatt caused. So not a lot has been about Mike in the past couple chapters, but that's okay because it's still enjoyable and still interesting. There was a lot of cricket, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of cricket again soon. There hasn't been in the past like couple chapters because it's all been about Wyatt, but I'm sure that will start again. So I still don't understand cricket. I'm probably gonna have to watch a video so I can at least picture it, because I just have like a very sort of not even surface level knowledge. So I'm like trying to picture it and I can't. But so that's it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this vlog. I'm very tired. So for those of you who don't know or aren't in America, last night was the end of daylight savings time, I believe. So our clocks went forward 1 hour, which means that everyone lost an hour of sleep pretty much, because we still have to go to work at the like normal time, but it's an hour earlier. So I'm very, very tired. I was just editing and I was only able to do like 30 minutes and I'm like, my eyes were dying. So I don't think I'm going to be reading any tonight. I think I need to give my eyes a break. I did listen to another about 2 hours of Babel to and from work, and things are picking up. So like I said, like Robin is in his 4th year now, and so the plot's really developing. I'm about 60% through the book and I'm like really interested. Robin and his cohort went to China. Some things happened. Spoilers. Some things happened and I felt really bad for Robin. You know, he's been put in a lot of like really tough like positions, and as someone who is also named Robin, I really empathize with him, because if I was in the positions that he keeps ending up in, I don't know what I would do. I don't know if I would make any other different choices. So I feel really bad for him. I'm still really enjoying it. I think it's really interesting. I think it presents colonialism in a way that I at least haven't read before in a fiction work. Or nonfiction, now that I think about it. I don't read a lot about colonialism. I tend to read, you know, either fantasy or, which obviously would have some colonialism in it. So, but right now, like recently I've been reading a lot of romance and like fluffy stuff. So I don't mind this dip into like dark academia, more serious topics, because it is really fascinating. I think if it was like darker, I would probably have an issue with it, just because like I'm not someone who likes like a lot of dark stuff or like grim dark fiction or anything like that. And obviously it could get darker. There's definitely the potential for that. I have a feeling that it won't, Hopefully, knock on wood. I think that I'll put it this way. I trust RF Kuang at this point. So I'm looking forward to continuing it. Hopefully I'll finish it next week. I'm not sure. I have like 9 hours left. We'll see. I'm hoping that I'll probably finish it in next week's vlog. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. So, and I'm hoping that tomorrow or by Thursday I will finish Mike at Reagan, because that's when Dad and I are recording the next episode of the podcast. Hopefully I'll finish it like tomorrow, because I would really like to pick up another book. But I'm gonna go rest my eyes. So thank you for coming along with me. Comment if you have any thoughts, or if you just want to shoot some motivation towards my way to actually get some reading done besides Babel, like actual other books. But like this video if you liked it, subscribe, I'd really appreciate it, and I will catch you next week. Bye.